In this video, I will guide you to create and print check. Before creating check, we need to configure check. Go to Checks and select the gear icon. On this screen, you can customize to hide Show Bank Address on check by unchecking or selecting Show Bank Address. You can follow the change in the next image. Next, select Show To Signature to display two signature areas on the check. Note, if you enable Show To Signature, you cannot sign the check electronically. Conversely, if you do not enable this option, the check will display the Sign button to sign. In this video, I will not select Show To Signature to be able to introduce the signature section. Next, you need to select the front and back symbols for currency check no, routing number and bank account. You can watch the changes right on the screen as I switch between these options. Finally, click Save to complete the configuration. Now, go back to the check menu and click Create New Check. Before entering information into the check, you need to import the signature samples that will be used for the check. If you want to sign by hand, skip this step. To import the signature, select the Sign button, then select Import Signature. Select a signature image from your computer, then click Import, then confirm to upload the signature image. After successfully uploading, the signature image will appear and Signature is available. You can also delete signature images by clicking the red X icon to the right of the image and confirming to delete. Next, we will enter the information in the check. First, you need to select a bank account. The check number will automatically increase according to the selected bank account. If the bank account has no check, the default check number is 0. You can also enter a different number if you want. Next, select a vendor like Tech and enter the amount for this check. You can select this again on the check in the date field and enter a memo if necessary. Next, click Sign and sign the check. You can also skip this step. We have two ways to sign, either sign by hand or choose an available signature image. Finally, you need to configure the information to be displayed on the check such as company name and address, routing and account number, check number and bank name. For example, when I uncheck Include Company Name and Address, this information disappears from the check. If I check it again, it shows up on the check. The same goes for the other three options. You can follow the changes on the screen. We have 4 ways to save checks such as Save, Save and Print Now, Save and Print Later, Save and Print Multiple Checks. If we select Save, the status of the check is not issued yet is the same as this check. If you select Save and Print Now, the system will display the check printing page, and the check status will change to Issued. If you select Save and Print Later, this check will be moved to the printing queue with other checks, and its status will also be not issued yet. If you select Save and Print Multiple Checks, you can print this check along with the checks in the queue, and can only print checks belonging to the same bank account. First, I will simulate the Save and Print Now case. After you press this button, the system will display the print screen. You can review this check in the Checks menu by filtering by bank account. Checks with the status of issued will be displayed in the report. You can see details in the journal report. Check number 2 is what I want you to see. Next, I will create a new check and simulate the case of pressing Save. After successful check status will be not issued yet as in video. Next, I will create another check and click Save and Print Later. This check will also have the status not issued yet. However, there is one difference. This check will be in the queue to print with other checks, while the check that only clicks Save can only be printed individually. The last check I will choose Save and Print Multiple Checks. This option allows us to print multiple checks at the same time. The system will display a pop-up allowing you to select the checks with the status not issued yet that are in the queue. You need to select the checks to print and click Print and Issue. On the main printed page are the 2 check numbers that I chose to print. And after successful printing, these 2 check numbers will have the status issued. If during the printing process there is an error, such as the printer running out of ink or printing in the wrong format, you can reprint by using the reprint function. Select the reprint button. Reprint is only used for checking whose status is issued. First, select one or more checks to be reprinted. There are two ways to check the number. Either reprint the check and use the existing check number or reprint the check with a new check number. You can enter a different check number for this reprint. Then click Save to confirm reprinting. Return to the Checks menu. Select the bank account associated with the reprinted check. If you reprint the check with a new check number, the check number printed with the error will have a status of printing error, and the newly printed check number has a status of issued. If you made a mistake when you paid a bill to your vendor, you can void a check. Select a check that needs to be void and click Open Check. Select Void Check and enter reason for void, then confirm that you want to void this check by selecting OK. The check will display the text Void. Go back to Checks menu. Select Viet A Bank. Check has just been void and has a status of void. Unmapping for voided checks, and also those checks are no longer showing up in the reports. At the same time, void checks will not be reflected in accounts and reports.